my name is VTR and welcome back to another series review, and today we are reviewing Marvel Zombies. Now I am reviewing this as one series. I know that there could be a season 2 sometime in the future, but as of right now this is all we've got. I'm just going to review it as one show. So Marvel Zombies, uh, the synopsis on Rotten Tomatoes is kind of boring, so I'm just going to say it picks up where the from the What If episode, which I did a review on. You should go check that out. Here we're actually got a review, a full on series. Like it's basically a what if spinoff and everything, which I think I was super excited for this when I first heard about it. And then when I heard about it was going to be TVMA, I was like, oh, they're actually going to be able to go full on force with this. And that they did. Going into this, I had pretty decent expectations that it was going to be a show that I was going to really like. And watching all the episodes through, because I had to watch these, we watched it all in one sitting, like the night they came out, or like right as they came out. We watched it, me and a group of friends, and for the most part, this was a really enjoyable show. The animation, the fight sequences, the characters, and everything. The characters we focus on is a very much big surprise. I'm glad it's not the heavy hitters, and I'm glad it brings out the continuity from What If back into this and everything. It doesn't like this, because originally they weren't going to do that. Originally it was just going to be its own thing. I wasn't gonna pick up from. I'm so glad they did, because that is probably my favorite episode of What If. And this takes that concept from that episode and ramps it up. And you may think me saying all that is because it's all good. The humor is not balanced as much as I would like, but it doesn't take me out of it. Like, the serious moments are still there, but some of the jokes fall flat and everything. I know I was talking with some friends and they thought Kamala and this was annoying, because they already thought Kamala was annoying, but she does go through a big character growth in this, in my opinion. And also, Kamala is one of my favorite Marvel characters, so obviously I didn't have a problem with her characterization here. I need to finish watching Miss Marvel at some point. But with that being said, this show basically does what I wanted it to do. But like, it could, like, the fact that it's actually able to be a zombie show and is able to be TVMA and actually has blood and what you want from a zombie story, I think is done very well. It is very well animated and everything. And the characters that we interact with, it's very interesting. Like they bring characters together that we haven't seen brought together and everything, which is really neat. And kind of give it as a taste of some characters that are going to work together in the future. Overall, this show was a lot of fun, but I do have some issues with it, and I'll get into that. But looking at it from an episode by episode basis, each episode has its strong suits. One of my favorite things is when an episode actually picks up where from the end of episode the What If episode, and I don't want to give it away how that works, because it plays bigger into the bigger plot of the in the show. But I like that. I like how they did that. One thing I was very surprised is how, like, who there actually is a central villain besides, like, oh, the zombies and everything. And I don't know how I 100% felt about that, because it is feel kind of a repeat of stuff we've seen before in the MCU. Also, there are some characters that were like, not utilized well, and you kind of knew like, but they handled some of the emotional moments really well when some characters die and everything. And as someone who's a Walking Dead fan, there seems to be quite a bit of influence of that in here. Um, there does seem to be quite a bit of Walking Dead influence in this show, which is good. I think that is a good thing that there is Walking Dead influence here. Um, I think overall that that's important that that's in this show. That the Walking Dead has a Walking Dead feel. Some people might see that's a bad thing. Like the first shot from the first episode is like straight up gave me Walking Dead vibes. Um, some characters I think they should have let survive longer. I'm not gonna say who and everything. I think it would have been better. And the ending, which I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil the way this show ends. But the way this show ends, oh my goodness. The way this show ends is what leans it to not being great for me, is because I don't like the way this show ends. And if it's it, I hope it's the plan for a second season, because the way this show ends is a super unsatisfying ending. It's not one of those ones like it leaves you wanting more. It's one of those things where it leaves you being like, what? That's it? That's how we're leaving this? And I could see them doing that as, oh, we're not going to answer these questions or anything, kind of like how a lot of what if episodes are. And if that's their mindset, I don't like that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Um, but I really hope that's not the case, because it does take the show down a bit for me. It does make the show a little bit worse. But as someone who's a Marvel fan, who's a horror fan, combining those two things finally, and the thing like fully like embraces it, because like we've had movies that have dabbled in the horror Marvel stuff, like the New Mutants is the main one that comes to mind, and everything, and that one What If episode. But the way they go about actually making this feel like horror, even though it has that MCU humor and everything, I think they can do a little bit better if they get a second season. Or maybe even like from what I heard, this was not supposed to be a show. This was supposed to be a Disney Plus movie, which I think would have been a better route to go, because the one, it just feels like the length of a movie watching all these episodes back to back and everything, and it just would have probably worked better as a movie since it was all dropped at once. I feel like that would have been a lot better, but I don't know what changed their minds or whatever to make it not an episode, a TV show thing. I wonder how they would have reformatted it as a movie. Who knows? Maybe like they'll conclude this story with like a Marvel presentation or something, so it's not like one of those. Uh, so I think that'd be the way to go, to like maybe not get a second season, maybe give a Marvel special presentation or whatever it's called. Um, um, but yeah, critics give this show a 65 and audiences give it a 72. It does seem to be pretty mixed on what people think about this show. Um, and I think a lot of it is because of the ending, is one of the big reasons why a lot of people are like iffy on that. And I can kind of get behind that mindset. Personally, I will go and say give it a 3.5 out of 5. So I think it is still fun. I think it still gives me basically what I wanted. I think they should have just dialed back on the humor a bit and give us more time for the serious moments, and also get rid of that get rid of not get rid a better ending. Now maybe there's a second season and it'll make me rethink the whole ending and everything. But one thing, my favorite thing about the show, I'll leave you with this, is the scene between. All I say is, because you guys know, if you've seen the end of What If, they tease like zombie Thanos, and what they do with that in this series is probably my favorite scene in the whole series. So, but let me know in the comments what you guys think of Marvel Zombies. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was overrated? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see each and every one of you guys in the next video. Bye.